So we're in 4-4, page 141, multiplying a decimal by a whole number. We've been talking about that for a couple days here, and so here's the solve and share. It says a car travels 1.15 kilometers in 1 minute if it travels at a constant speed, and what they mean by that is the speed doesn't change. Is how far will it travel in 3 minutes, and then in 5 minutes. So there's actually kind of two questions there. Two questions, I know that because there's two question marks. Solve this problem any way you choose. Well, I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to put 1.15, and I'm going to multiply that by 3. Move this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. And like the other day, I said really all you have to do is just get rid of the decimal and multiply it like you normally would. So 3 times 5 is 15. Put down the 5, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. So the answer is 345. But remember, there's 2 decimal places we have to deal with, Mr. Cobb. And so when I go from 1.15 to 115, I've moved the decimal 2 places. Because every whole number, the decimal is considered to be all the way to the right. So I've moved it 2 places. Well, now I got to move it 2 places back. So 1, 2. So the answer is 3.45. Okay? So remember, when you multiply these numbers, just move the decimal out of the way. And remember to keep track how many places you've moved it out of the way. And then factor that back in on your final answer. So I just did the first one for you guys. I'm going to write this down here and let you guys figure out the second one. And I'll just leave that blank like that. And then it says, how can addition be used to answer the questions above? Well, addition, I could do this for the first one, 1.15, 1.15, 1.15. And if I was to add those together, that would answer the first one, which was being multiplied by 3. And so if you just write that down, as far as I'm concerned, you've answered that question. Okay. Hang off with the questions. So next page. It says to raise money for a charity, 0.15, or that's also 15 cents, they have the dollar sign there, was collected from every ticket sold at a Lions baseball game. If you bought 12 tickets, how much money would go to the charity? Well, they've got it right here for you, 0.15 times 12. And so what they did is just simply set it up like this, and that's what I was explaining in the other page. You just got rid of the decimal. Remember, you got to factor the decimal back in. And then they said, here's another way you could do it, is adding 0.15 12 times. Oh my gosh, that's kind of the long way around the barn if you ask me. I'd much rather do it like this. So then it says convince me down at the bottom. It says here are 2 similar problems. It says place the decimal point correctly in each answer and explain your thinking. So for this first one here, we have a whole number, 33. There's no part of a number. There's no decimal. We have 19. That's a whole number. There's no part of a number. There's no decimal. It's not 19.2. You just multiply those together and you get 627. Well, here they have, again, 19, a whole number. And then they have 0.33. That's part of a whole number. That's part of 1. It's about a third of 1. And so they went ahead and multiplied those together, just like they did over here. But now you need to what? Factor in the decimal. Well, to get rid of the decimal, we had to move it 2 places over here. And so we need to put it back right here. And so really that's the answer right there. It's 6.27. And it says explain your thinking. Well, I just kind of explained it, so I'm not worried about you guys writing that down, just as long as I see that you've done what I've done here. So let's see, I'm on page 143. Up at the top, do you understand? It says, what is the difference between multiplying a whole number by a decimal and multiplying two whole numbers? So I would write down with a decimal, you will, actually not will, you may have a part of a whole number in your answer. So if I multiplied 1.2 times 3, I'll probably have a decimal. But if I multiplied 1.2 times 5, I may not have a decimal. So, and a decimal is just a way of showing that it's part of a whole number. And it says if a group bought 24 tickets, and I had to look at this one for a moment, 24 tickets, how much money would go to charity? Well, this number 2 here, yeah, they're talking about this. Okay? So it's going to be 0.15 times 24. And so you would just do it this way. Multiply 15 times 24, and then remember to factor in the decimal. So let me do this here. 4 times 5 is 20. Put down the 0, carry the 2. I'll zoom in a little bit here. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Now I'm going to put my placeholder. 2 times 5 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And now you just add those together. What do we have? 0, 6, 3. So 360. But are we done? No. We have to deal with this decimal. How many places did I have to move the decimal to make it a whole number? 2 places. So I put my decimal right there. So there's my answer, 3.6. Or if you put 3.60, that's the same. So the rest of these, I think you guys can do on your own. Some of them, they've set them up vertically for you. 2 times 8 is 16. Put down the 6, carry the 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Where would the decimal go? Right there. One place, 19.6. So they get a little bit harder when we go down here ways. Not a lot of room. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do number 15 here. So we have 170 times 0.003. So I'm going to put the decimal here. Okay. And I'm not worried about the decimal in front. That's irrelevant. And so we have 3 rows we have to worry about. So you guys watch how I do this one. So 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 7 is 21. Put down the 1, carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 more is 5. I'm going to put my placeholder right there. So 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. And 0 times 1 is 0. Now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put another placeholder in. Let's see here. So this one's going to go right here. And it won't really matter. See, every time, let's see, did I do that right? Let me see here. The first, and the placeholder was here. Yeah, so the next placeholder is going to be here. So you just keep, as you, if you have 3 or 4 lines, you just keep putting in a placeholder. So you could look at it like in your first line, you put 1 placeholder. The second line, you put 2 placeholders. And I'll do another one like this with you guys. So anyways, now you just add it up. So 0, 1, 5, 0, 0. Now, here's what's important. How many places do we need to move the decimal? 3 places. So 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 0.510. Okay. So let me do one more. That was number 17. Let's look at, or number 15. Let's look at 19. So this is 10.76, so I'll write 1076 multiplied by 100. So we're going to have 3 lines. So the first one is just going to be 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? The next one, remember I'm going to put my placeholder, and I'll just put a little 0 and a dot. Just kind of remind me that's my placeholder. And the next one, what's that going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see how I'm kind of keeping things lined up. Okay, the next line, I need 2 placeholder zeros. And if I had a third line, I would need 3 placeholders. So 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. It's so important to keep things lined up. Okay? Now we just go straight down. 0 and 0, 0 is 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 6, 6. 0, 0, 7, 0, 1. Now, where was that decimal? It was right here. I had moved it 2 places over, so I'm going to move the decimal 2 places over.
Whoa, that's a big number.
Okay? So it is just 1,076, as I heard somebody say. Okay? So we did 15, 18. You want me to do 18? Okay. All right. Last one, 18. So 914 multiplied by 50. Notice I didn't even worry about the decimal. I know I'm going to have to move it 3 places over. So 0, 0, 0. 0 times 4 is 0, times 1 is 0, times 9 is 0. Now I'm going to put my placeholder 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Put down the 0, carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. Notice how I'm keeping things lined up. If you guys don't keep things lined up, you're going to make a mistake. And 9 times 5 is 45. Is it 9 times 5, 45?
Yeah, 9 times 5 equals 45.
Now I just add those up. So 0.00754. Now, where was the decimal? It was right here. I had to move it 1, 2, 3 places to make that a whole number. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 45.7. That's number 18. Okay? All right, I'm going to end this.